Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about My Daughter the Teenage Nudist, which was a programme on Channel 4 last week, but at least to the date of recording this video it still is on 4OD, so you can go and check it out on there. Now, as with a lot of Channel 4s and E4s and things, documentaries, the title of this is pretty self-explanatory. It looks at the concept of teenage nudists, but it's not done. I kind of expected it to be kind of a degrading way and saying, this is a culture that has gone a bit mad. I watched this and I was smiling all the way through, which sounds a lot more pervy than I mean it to be. It's very, very fascinating, and I was actually agreeing with pretty much everything that was being said. So before I go any further, I just want to say you must watch this. It's just really well presented, really well put forward, and I think, at least I did, and I'm sure everybody else will side with the documentary in the way it's kind of projecting the whole concept of nudism and specifically teenage nudism. Generally speaking, it looks at the concept of public nudity, but there are various different focuses. There's one girl called Molly, she's one of the primary case studies, if you like, and it shows how she started to get into nudity and how she found out about it, and kind of it looks at the whole Facebook culture and how social media kind of makes it more appealing and things, and kind of makes people aware of it, and kind of brushes over a lot of the misconceptions and things. And then it tries to get some of her friends involved, and it looks at the apprehensions and why some people would not consider doing it. Like, I probably wouldn't do it, to be perfectly honest. But it looks at why people are afraid to be naked in public, when of course at one point in time it was the most natural thing in the world. There are a lot of cultures and communities out there in the world who still walk around naked and they only dress to save themselves from being cold, whereas we purposely put on clothes so we're not naked. So it looks at kind of why people are scared to do it, and then it looks at the other side, why people enjoy doing it and why a lot of people embrace it. And I was actually thinking, yeah, I completely understand what you're saying, and part of me did think, I want to try this. I never would, I really don't think I would, but it does get you kind of thinking, would I do this? Why am I not doing this? It really is very fascinating. The other part that I love, it looked at the naked bakers. They have a blog, which I haven't actually found, but I haven't really looked too much into it. Basically, they post pictures on the internet of themselves cooking naked. Now, the photos are tasteful, it's kind of like Calendar Girls. Calendar Girls is my all-time favourite stage play, and the pictures are kind of like that, where they're covering things up. So it's not kind of explicit, it's not offensive, but it's still saying, we have body confidence, and specifically one of the three naked bakers, if you like, talked about how they had a lot of issues with body confidence and things, and then they found this and realised that everybody's in the same boat. And the programme also looked at that, about how we dress up to hide ourselves because we're self-conscious, but at the same time we're all doing it. Every single one of us, at least most of us, will walk out the house thinking, right, are people judging me? Do I look horrible in this? Does my butt look big in this dress? Does this jacket make me look fat? Don't answer that, it's not a question. So it does kind of look at why we're all self-conscious. And this is actually liberating, and despite the fact that you're exposed, it can help you beat the issues. It's really, really very interesting. There was one bit which got me a little bit annoyed, without going into too much detail because I don't want to spoil too much of it. One of the naked bakers, if I can continue to use that word, takes off her top in public, just to kind of see what would happen, because one of the male bakers also had his shirt off, and they wanted to see how long it would take for the policeman to come over and tell her to put her shirt back on, but not him. And when she asked why she was being asked and not the guy, the copper said, it's different. Why is it different? Now, I didn't get annoyed at the copper for saying that, but it really shows how almost anti-feminist society has become. As I said, there are cultures where women walk around with their tops off all the time because it's the most natural thing in the world. And I got really annoyed then at society and for the fact that women aren't able to do that. Now, again, I'm not saying that I necessarily want to walk out the street with my shirt off, but it would be nice to have the option. Why, a lot of people know I'm a feminist. I'm trying to not get on a feminist rant here, but why is it different for men and women? And a friend of mine made an interesting point that, while it is different, mainly because a lot of women don't want to expose themselves, but again, that's because of the judging in society. So I got really annoyed with society then, but I'm not going to go too much into it. But look out for that, you'll kind of hopefully understand where I was coming from with that point. The programme is an hour in length, and to be honest, I would have wanted it to be longer. A lot of you know I have a really short attention span, so anything over an hour is going to have to really be good to keep me hooked. I got to the end and thought I want to watch it again. Thoroughly insightful, very enjoyable, took a totally different direction to what I was expecting. A lot of different segments going on here, but they all interweave very nicely. It is educational, but it's entertaining and it makes you think, and it's emotional as well. It really has everything going for it. Please let me know your thoughts on My Daughter the Teenage Nudist, and I will see you all next time. Bye!